Okay. Dear students, the second lecture all about the academic writing. We will be going to talk about features of academic writing. Introduction. Academic writing in English is linear, which means it has one central point or our theme, with every part contributing to the main line of argument without digression or repetition. Academic writing will have always only one point. The whole essay or the research or the thesis or the paper will be circling around that single topic, but all the parts of that writing or that piece will be contributing to the main point. Its objective is to inform rather than entertain. As well as it is in the standard written form of the language. Academic writing will always be in the standard form of the written language. There are 10 main features of academic writing that are often discussed. Academic writing, it is to some extent complex, formal, objective, explicit, hedged, and responsible. It uses language precisely and accurately. It is also well organized and planned. Complexity. The first feature of the academic writing is complexity. Complexity, written language is relatively more complex than spoken language. Written language is a bit complex and puzzled than the spoken language. Written language has longer words, it is lexically more dense, and it has a more varied vocabulary. Written language is totally different from the spoken language. Written language having long words, lexically different from the spoken language. It uses more noun-based phrases than verb-based phrases. The structure of the phrases is also different from academic to from the written to spoken language. Written texts are shorter. Okay, written texts are always shorter, and the language has more grammatical complexity, including more subordinate clausing and more passives. Written language will have more passives, and the clauses, for the most of the time, the clauses will be subordinate clauses. So that is why it is complex, because it will have passives. Passives are complex, and subordinate classes are also complex. Formality. Academic writing is relatively formal. A writer will always have to follow the formality in the formal writing style. In general, this means that in an essay, you should avoid colloquial words and expression. Colloquial mean the everyday word, the word which are used by us on daily basis. Those words shall be avoided while writing an academic piece of writing. An academic piece of writing doesn't include any colloquial words and expression. Formality. Precision. Precisions. In academic writing, facts and figures are given precisely. So you must have proofs, and all the facts and figures will be put while writing something academically. Academic writing will always require facts and figures. You cannot include something from yourself that you don't have any proof and any idea. At first, you have to find out the truth about the claim you want to make in writing an academic piece of writing. Objectivity. Written language is in general objective rather than personal. Written language, for most of the time, it is objective rather than subjective, the personal. It therefore has fewer words that refer to the writer or the reader. That is why written language will have less reference to the writer or the reader. This means that the main emphasis should be on the information that you want to give and the arguments you want to make rather than you. Objectivity means the information you want to provide while writing an academic piece of writing. The central idea must not be you or the reader. The central idea must be the information provided through the piece of writing. For that reason, academic writing tends to use nouns and adjectives rather than verbs and adverbs. Explicitness. Academic writing is explicit about the relationship in the text. Furthermore, it is the responsibility of the writer in English to make it clear to the reader how the various parts of the text are related. Okay, these connections can be made explicit by the use of different signaling words. Okay, accuracy. Academic writing uses vocabulary accurately. Most subjects have words with narrow specific meanings, so the writer must be accurate while writing an academic piece of writing because the feature of the academic writing is accuracy. One must be accurate while writing a piece of academic writing. Linguistics distinguishes clearly between phonetics and phonemics. Generally, English does not. Okay, general, when we are speaking general, we cannot differentiate phonetics and phonemics, but linguistics does differentiate between these two things. Hedging. In any kind of academic writing you do, it is necessary to make decision about your stance on a particular subject or the strength of the claims you are making. Okay, hedging means when you are going to write something, you have to clarify and tell your reader what stance you are going to take, what is your choice, and what is your stance on the topic, what is your view about the topic. You have to tell the reader. That is the hedging. Different subjects prefer to do this in different ways. Every subject will have its own way of doing that. A technique common in certain kinds of academic writing is known by a linguist as a hedge. Okay, this technique is called hedging, whether to tell your point of view, to clarify your stance to the reader from the beginning of the writing. That is called hedging. Responsibility. In academic writing, you must be responsible for and must be able to provide evidence and justification for any claims you make. Responsibility. When you are writing a piece of academic writing, whatever you are going to write, you must be responsible for that claim and you must provide justification for the claim you make while writing an academic piece of writing. I have already taught you people while teaching you essays that whenever you write something while writing an expository essay, you must put the evidences and the justification for your claim which you make while writing your essays and a piece of writing. Essay writing is also academic writing. You are also responsible for demonstrating an understanding of any source text you use. Anything you use, you take help from, you must be responsible for that, and you must show clear knowledge all about the sources you use while writing your piece of academic writing. Organization. Academic writing is well organized. It is well organized. It is quite in order. It flows easily from one section to the next in a logical fashion. We are talking about coherence and cohesion. We have already talked about that. Organization means the coherence and the cohesion. Cohesion. A good place to start is the genre of your text. The genre of your text. Okay, then genre means that whether this is a literary piece of writing, whether this is a linguistic piece of writing, whether this is what type of genre, what type of variety, what type of writing is this. What is the genre, what is the quality, what is the type of thing you are going to write about. That is the genre. Some people call it genre and some people call it genre, some people call it genre. Fine. Once you have decided on the genre, the structure is easily determined. Planning. Academic writing is well planned. It cannot be done without the planning. Everything you want to do, first you go and you plan. But academic writing is a planned writing. It usually takes place after research and evaluation. We start writing academically we have collected a lot of knowledge about the topic and research and evaluation, and we have already evaluated different writings and different pieces of writing according to a specific purpose and plan. We go and we research, we go and we read, we go and we observe for writing academically, and for that purpose we gather a lot of information and we have a proper planning for writing academically. After proper planning, we go and we start writing academically. There is the last point of the features of the academic writing.